All right, we out here for the late night boxing talks. I came across this bit of information that Erislandy Lara is angling for a Canelo Alvarez rematch, and I immediately began to laugh that after all these years, this man still believes he can get a second fight. That even though he's on the right side of the street, supposedly, to fight for any of the alphabet titles at 154 pounds, he's still pining for Canelo Alvarez. And, you know, I looked at what Lara's been doing the last couple of years because the last couple of years for Lara have been pretty forgettable outside of the Brian Castano fight in 2019. I think that in recent memory, that was the best fight that he was in, but he didn't win that fight. It was ruled a draw, even though I kind of felt that Brian kind of took it, but that's neither here nor there. That's anecdotal. But, you know, it's crazy because the last 3 or 4 years, the conversation has been dominated by the politics of boxing and how, depending on what side of the street you're on, that determines what fights will be made available to you. And yet here we have Erislandy Lara, who's on the same side of the street as most of the junior middleweights, the ones that you'd want to get in the ring, the ones that you would want to fight. And what he's talking about is Canelo Alvarez. I couldn't help but laugh at that. Yo, look, man, I'm just saying, there's so much evidence that dispels all the narratives that we've heard over the years that, oh, Crawford has to cross the street and this guy has to cross the street and all this different stuff. There's so much evidence to the contrary that you can be on that side of the street and there's still going to be things that don't happen. You could be on that side of the street because Lara's on that side of the street. And what have the last 3 years consisted of? Ramon Alvarez, Greg Vendetti, Thomas Cornflake Lamata. That was his last fight in May of last year, you know? It's like a running gag that, like, y'all keep saying that, oh, Crawford got to cross. And y'all know, those of you that have been with this channel for a very long time, I've always maintained that entire narrative about having to cross over to that side of things for a fight, I've maintained throughout that that's a smokescreen. That's bullshit. He could go as far as crossing the street, and when he gets there, they still might not give him the fight. And we see that now, in a nutshell, they've made it to where that's not even really an option for him because they're saying, well, he's going to want certain kinds of money for that fight. And, you know, yada, yada, yada. Like we all heard the audio from Tim Smith. But this is what I mean, that like there's so much evidence to the contrary because what should have happened after Lara versus Castano 2 was after Lara versus Castano was a rematch. That's what should have happened because they fought to a draw. And Lara is one of the more formidable fighters anywhere at or around 154 pounds. You don't have to like his style per se to acknowledge that he's a skillful and formidable fighter. He's not my cup of tea. I don't generally enjoy his fights unless he's fighting a pressure fighter like Angulo, like Jarrett Hurd, or Brian Castano, guys that are going to bring you the fight and wing off shots. The only time I'll endure a Lara fight is if I know he's in there with a volume puncher because then I know it's going to be entertaining. But other than that, I'd rather not watch. And you would think that because he's been with the PBC for so long and because his name is supposed to have all this value, that they would be able to do more for him than Cornflake Lamana. And it's wacky. It's hilarious. You still talking about Canelo after all these years, bro? If you really wanted Canelo, though, like on some for real, it's a lot of things you would have did that you didn't do. You've been at 154 for all these years. When Canelo moved up to 60, you was at 54. When he moved up to 75 for a little bit, you was still at 54. When he started that campaign at 68, you was still at 54, popped up at 60, but the news is you might go back to 54. It's like what is this? Like, it's wild. What's goody, Lance? What's goody, Pull Check? And Paraguay J was good. Mo was good. Timmy was good. Slot was good. Liam was good. It's nuts, bro. It's like the name association tactics. It's either you're a moron and you have a team of morons, or it's shameless name association tactics. It could be a bit of both, but either way, it's silly. Like, bro, you're not getting a Canelo fight. You need to worry about your career. And if you wanted a Canelo fight, why the hell have you been at 154 all this time? Shout out to Jay. It's always a perfect time. Yo, Jay, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's always a perfect time to ride Canelo's way. It really, because it's like, yo, dog, like, you're not getting a rematch with that dude. If you should, a rematch that you should be looking for is a Brian Castano rematch. Because if they would have had that rematch immediately after the first fight, then maybe it would have been Lara versus Jermell Charlo for undisputed at 154. But you didn't do that. You wanted to fight Canelo's older brother, and what did that get you? Nothing. I'm gonna fight Ramon Alvarez, and who fucking cares? It's I don't know. It's always just some just mediocre, goofy, just like what? But yeah, apparently Lara still wants a Canelo Alvarez rematch after all this time. Good luck. Orange George says Mike Tyson had Big Charlo shook. Even though he was trying to help him, Jamal exposed himself by being lukewarm to most of Mike's suggestions. Yeah, because they, like, not to just get into the same conversation that we've had many, many times on many, many lives, talked about it in many, many segments on the relay. I believe that on that side of the street, they kill what makes a fighter a fighter. And I believe they kill a fighter's killer instincts that, yeah, you should be open to a lot of different things that's going to get you a lot of different bags, because what you're doing is the opposite of that. You're not creating excitement with your fights. You're not earning huge purses. Boxing is not a job that you get to do forever. It's a very limited window of opportunity to make vast sums of money, and you want to have big fights, but that's if you want to fight. And I've maintained throughout, even since 2020, when he first said all that stuff about Benavidez, I've maintained throughout that he doesn't want that fight. He's talking shit. He doesn't want that fight. You can't tell? All that nervous energy, all that barking, all that woof, woof, woof. You don't want that fight, bro. Nobody believe that shit. Nobody believes you. I didn't believe it then. Surely I don't believe it now. You know what I mean? And just to see that Lara is still like, really, dog, Lara, you know who you should target? Jermell Charlo. Why? Because he may end up having all the belts. If you don't target Charlo, just target the winner of Charlo versus Castano. And if you're done at junior middleweight, hey, your stable, your banner, your people, whatever, they got a champion at 160. Let me ask y'all a question. What would y'all rather see? Lara versus Charlo at 160 or Charlo versus Sulietsky at 160? This is the goofy shit that I'm talking about. That y'all got some things that y'all could do that, people would pay attention. But y'all just make the asinine decisions to make the asinine fights. And if he gets upset, if Sulietsky pull it off, because the thing is, Sulietsky's never been knocked out, and he has a fast 1-2. I remember the last couple of times I saw him, he looked a bit limited mid-range to inside, but from the outside, he actually has a decent 1-2. He's never been stopped. He's been knocked down, but he's never been stopped. If that turns out to be a banana skin, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to laugh, because it's like, yo, for losing to him, you might as well have tried your chances with Lara. It would have been more, it would have just meant it wouldn't be as bad if you lose to that guy. But when you tell the world that, oh, nobody cares about Demetrius Andrade, nobody watches Demetrius Andrade, when you tell the world that so that you could end up fighting one of the guys that he beat already, you just make yourself look like a fool. Like, if nobody cares about who he fight, why you fighting somebody that he fought? The shit don't make sense. It's like some 12-year-old shit. But maybe what it is that, you know what? And I think I heard Ronnie Boy Fresh say this, which I agree with. That dude don't make no decisions. The problem with Jamal is he say a lot of shit like he make decisions, when we all know that he don't. You know, like you don't make no decisions, bro. They tell you what you gonna do and when you gonna do it. But the way you be talking, you paint yourself into a corner with the fans because you be saying so much shit that motherfuckers is gonna hold you to that. They gonna hold you to that. Like, oh, word, nobody watch Andre Bet. Then why are you fighting somebody that he beat 3 years ago? That shit don't make sense. If it's bad that, oh, Andre and what Andre do is bad, all right, then why you fighting somebody that he beat already? Why you fighting somebody that Danny Jacobs beat already? That's the best y'all could come up with? For that shit, y'all might as well have made a Lara fight, because I would actually tune in for that fight. I'd have been like, yeah, that's a good fight. I like that fight. And there's always been this thing that, oh, Lara and Charlo, they this. Man, I don't want to hear that shit, bro. Nobody wants to hear that shit. I don't even think Lara trains with Ronnie, Ronnie Shields anymore. So what the fuck? I don't even think, like, I forget who's Derek James training and who's Ronnie Shields training out the Charlo brothers, because I'm pretty sure that I vaguely recall seeing that Lara went, either he went to Mundo or he went to Ismael Salas, but I don't think he's with Ronnie Shields anymore. So it's like, well, if they don't got the same trainer no more, why y'all ain't make that fight? This shit don't make no sense, man. Did you catch the Eddie versus Thor fight? Nah, I didn't get to see that. I would have liked to have seen that. Big Charlo versus Lara. Nah, make it at 160. Fuck it. Like, Lara fought Cornflake Lamana at middleweight. The last fight that he had, the dude that he knocked out, that was at 160. Make that fucking fight. All right, Derek is training Jermell and Ronnie is training Jamal. And I saw that, like, yo, Lara not being trained by none of them. He being trained by I think it was either Salas or Pedro Diaz. I forget who. But it's one of them. He not over there with Ronnie no more. So it's like, well, if they ain't got the same trainer, right? And Lara hasn't fought for a full title in a long time, yo, make the fight. He's supposed to be on the right side of the street to get those opportunities in theory. But what do you see? The same old bullshit. What do you see? Lara versus Charlo is a great fight. I like that fight. And I'm not big on either of them, but if you put them together in the ring, yeah, I like that fight. That's a good fight. What you think about Charlo cresting Canelo? Well, join me, Alexis. Join me. Yo, I don't want to see 10 people in the back one at a time. Join me, Alexis, for a brief minute. To Polly. Lara should be above. Well, I think he is 40, Jay. I honestly think he is 40. But what I'm saying is that you see all the heat that Charlo is getting for the fight that he about to have. You know, you see that people like, well, yeah, you tried to get Munguia, but, you know, this sucks. You see that, right? Bing. If you would have announced, okay, instead of Munguia, Charlo's going to fight Lara, I think people would have been okay with that. I honestly, I know that I would have been okay with that. Like, look, not fighting Munguia, but fighting Lara. I've been waiting for that one. I know Lara's a little old, but, you know, Charlo, he's kind of regressing. So it's still, you know, it's still an interesting situation. And you telling me that after all this time and all these years that Lara been with the PBC, the best y'all could do is Canelo's older brother that don't nobody know. V for Vendetta or Vendetti or Vegeta or whatever the fuck the guy's name is, and Cornflake Lamana. Come on, be like this the shit I'm talking about. I'm looking at the ghosts of fucking Rocky Marciano. The LDBC is turning on each other thanks to Charlo's and Wilder's loss for that. Well, that's not a real boxing community, bro. Like, I don't even like, you don't see me like discuss a lot of that just dumb shit anymore, because it's like, bro, nobody gives a fuck what these cats think about boxing in the greater scheme of things. That they have an audience that allows them to make money on YouTube, hey, great, you know, good for you, and just do your thing. But as far as the actual world of boxing, them motherfuckers ain't even a blip. You don't buy pay-per-views. The fighters that them cats like to hype up, they ain't even on the radar. So it's like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. All right, well, I'm gonna tell you what. Who am I? Go find yourself, because I already got the sense like you just gonna say goofy shit all night. And I don't feel like reading it. Being real with you, I'm old. I don't have the patience for that shit. All right, goodbye. Does Jamal what shit? Does Jamal get full credit for beating a 40-year-old Lara? That's a very good question. I would say that it all depends on how the individual feels. Personally, I wouldn't be elated with that victory because I feel like that fight should have happened a long time ago. But it's still more interesting. I guess it's just because it's more interesting than the alternative. You know what I mean? The alternative is Maciej Suliecki. I don't want to see, like, I don't want to see that. I'd rather see Lara. But as far as Lara, I do feel like, this fight should have happened maybe 2 years ago. Really, it should have, like, the thing was, oh, well, they got the same trainer. And I've always maintained, so fucking what? Andre Rosier was training both Derevyanchenko and Jacobs when they fought, but they still did the fight. Andre ended up in Danny's corner because he had been with him longer. And Sergey, he had, I don't know, I don't even fucking remember. But the point is, you do what you have to do when you want to fight. You do what you want. You do what you have to do. Fight is fight. Shout out to Steffi Bull. I think it was Steffi that said that. I seen Steffi say that like a little over 2 weeks ago. Fight is fight. It is absolutely right. That's what the fuck they do. Yeah, like if y'all see any trolls, just get my attention and I'll block. Cause I'm like, yo, how the fuck could this be what you're doing at, it's 8 something on the East Coast. I don't know what time it is in the West. I'm gonna assume it's fucking very late in the UK. And I'm like, if you up at this time to troll, oh my God, I would just hate to be you. I would just hate to be you. Like, I don't have time for it. Laura is Liam. Let's not be naive. We all know Laura's a little older than 38. We all, just like Luis Ortiz is a little older than 42. You know what I mean? Another interesting double standard is Canelo Golovkin's trilogy equals bad, but Golovkin versus Andre. Thank you, Vil, because you put it in a way that was very concise. That don't shit on Triple G. Oh, Triple G sucks. He's this, he's that. But if he were fighting Charlo, you'd say the opposite. If he were fighting Charlo and Charlo he beat Triple G. He beat Triple G. How do I know? Well, that's what you guys do with Sergey Derevyanchenko. That's what y'all do with him. With Sergey, it doesn't count that Danny beat him first. It doesn't count that Sergey and Golovkin, they had a war, a 12-round war, and Golovkin dropped him. None of that counts. The only thing that counts is that Jamal fought him after the fact. And it's the same thing with Golovkin. Oh, when Canelo fights Golovkin for a third time because he a big fish, right? Y'all like big fish? Well, Canelo the real big fish, right? Bang. Y'all don't like that Canelo fighting Triple G for a third time, but let that have been Charlo versus Golovkin. Oh, then your tune to change. Oh, Golovkin was this. Like, that's, I don't even listen to them fucking dickheads, man. Like, who listens to them cats, man? Like, Chisora calls out Ruiz. Go home. Nah, not even, man. I mean, I ain't mad that he called them out because if you think about how that fight would look, it would be an entertaining fight if you just think about how it would look. But I never thought it was gonna happen. I figured that, like, bro, Ruiz is not gonna fight this dude, bro. You just got put on. You got dropped by Chris Arreola. You're not gonna run no risk with Derek. You gonna do what we expect you to do. You either gonna wait for Wilder or you gonna fight Ortiz. You gonna stick to the playbook. And what's going on? What Eddie said, what he's hearing, based on or whatever, the impression that he got from Luis de Cubas Jr., who handles their careers, Luis Ortiz's career, the impression that he got was that it's gonna be Ruiz versus Ortiz next. Well, that's the same impression I've been under all this time. Ain't no motherfucking surprises there. I wouldn't count out Chisora. Me neither. That's why I don't think Andy will fight him. Jarrell Miller could have come back to boxing could come back to boxing June 16th. Is he a fringe contender or a journeyman now? Well, let's say this, right? He finds himself in a very unique situation. There are a lot of doors that are closed to him. There are. Obviously, Matchroom isn't going to want anything to do with him. Top Rank isn't going to want anything to do with him. So that leaves Golden Boy, which I doubt. Golden Boy doesn't really have heavyweights like that, not really. And PBC, maybe they pick him up so that they could, like, I don't know, Jarrell Miller versus Frankie Sanchez. They need fighters. So that's a place that he could go. And yet another place that he can go is Triller. And I know that Triller is really, it's like on the fringe, but as far as what doors will be accessible to him, what doors will be open to him, those are some of the doors, Triller and the PBC, because they both need fighters. I mean, look, Sergey over there, Kubrat Pulev over there, and his brother, they over there. Fanlong Men got the fuck out of Dodge. Like, man, you know what? I ain't gonna fight fucking Kovalev for what? What I get? Smart move. You know what I mean? Isn't Jarrell working security at the moment? Yeah, I think he was security for Floyd. I saw him. He was like security or some shit. If Ruiz versus Ortiz don't happen, man, Ortiz is not. That's what I mean. Like, Ortiz not gonna fight that dude, bro. I don't mind that idea, but just being real, like, nah, that shit ain't gonna happen, man. Something's definitely wrong, bro. Backstage says, oh, wait, I got you. I must have posted an old link, bro. I got you. I must have posted an old link. Try this one. But yeah, yo, it's it's a lot of things that we know off top are not likely to happen. Ortiz versus Chisora or Joshua, or just that, none of that shit is gonna happen, bro. I wouldn't mind. No, I wouldn't mind some of that shit, but being real, like, come on, B, that dude is not gonna. Come on, B, he the standby. He on standby. I was goody.
What's going on, Julius?
I was goody country. Was goody Eson. So I got a interesting bit of information about our man crying Ryan Garcia.
Overweight, apparently.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bro, everything is going wrong over at Golden Boy, bro.
One at a time. So this is the tweet. This is how it reads. The contracted weight for Ryan Garcia. So this is not that he's overweight per se. They agreed on this, right? The contracted weight for Ryan Garcia versus Emmanuel Tagoe will be for the max of 139 pounds. Tagoe's manager, Peter Khan, told Sports Illustrated Now, Khan, who manages lightweight champion George Kambosos, believes there are strong similarities between this fight and the Kambosos upset of Teofilio Lopez.
Ooh.
I mean.
This is a light welterweight fight. This is a light welterweight fight then. In that case, this ain't no lightweight contest.
Well, first, let me start off at the top of the screen with New Country. New Country, just initial thoughts that it's at 139. It's not even at 135. When you heard that, what came to mind?
Ryan is just he's on his way downhill, man, and this is just this smacks of it. If he ends up like what happened to Tio, I wouldn't be one bit surprised because he's been inactive, he's pulled out of fights, he's had Mariah Carey moments, and he's been a diva and he's been running his mouth this whole time. Sound familiar? And he's gonna get in there with somebody who's serious. And they're going to knock him right in his mouth, and rightfully so. It's about time.
Let me read the super chat. Let me read the super chat. Shout out to my man Punch Drunk Boxer. Serrano versus Taylor right around the corner. Fight week. Punch versus Ring IQ Epic Breakdown Show. Yeah, we could do that, man. We could do that. Eson, let me go to Eson. So 139, bro. 139. Why 139, Eson?
Honestly, I saw that before, and like when it comes to Ryan, I don't really like put my thoughts into him really that much no more because it's kind of like a waste of time. But like I mean, obviously we're talking about it now. It can't be on To Go's end because Ryan's the A side. He went to him, so it's clearly it's something with Ryan. I'm thinking to myself, why don't you just fight at lightweight? So, I mean, what else besides weight issues, or like maybe because the layoff, he's having trouble cutting some weight. But I'm like, yo, yeah,
He's
young,
not at
like,
Eddie Reynoso's gym anymore.
yo, you took the word. I'm like, Andy's with Goosen now. Just about to say that. I was like, oh, Andy's with Goosen.
He's with Joe
But,
Triple Fat Goose Down. He's with Joe
I
Triple
mean-
Fat Goose Down, B.
I mean, to me, what it looks like off the top is just that he's coming off a long layoff. Maybe the weight cut is he's not having easy weight cut. But I mean, like, has this been contractually? Like, is it been set?
It says that the
So that means-
contracted weight.
So that means that this whole time they've known. I mean,
but he want to talk about George.
Yeah. Okay.
Well-
Okay. Well, he's having issues with weight, I guess, and that's one thing I can see from it. But maybe
The
I hear one of y'all
question
thoughts.
But can Joe get him to where he needs to be for this fight, or in general, for that matter?
I mean, look, Joe and his denim leather jackets. There's only so much the trainer can do. The trainer can't fight the fight for you. He can do his best to get you as ready as he can get you. But Ryan, there's just something about Ryan. I'm gonna go to Alexis. Alexis, 139 pounds, long layoff, Mariah Carey moments, falling out with Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez. Just what's your impression of all of that?
Well, I think it's smart that he's doing the fight at a contracted 139 pounds. I'd be more worried for him if he had to go down to 135. So that right there takes him out. I think that's why that's the biggest difference I see between him and the Teofimo Lopez.
That's a good point.
Situation.
That's a good point.
If he's not worrying about making weight, he can concentrate on other things. So the field is slanted to his favor. So I mean, that's a good thing.
No. I mean, see, this is why I fuck with Alexis, because he just, even though we don't agree on everything,
he always has like a good point of view that you can understand.
Shout out to Alexis and just shout out to the Dominican Republic.
Fucking next level boxing
Could
talk,
this
man.
be a precursor to him moving up to 140?
I mean, this is the thing. Wait. This is the thing, Country, and this is what I think. Honestly, I'm kind of with Country on that one because let's be honest, he's not gonna fight Devin, right? Teofimo's not there anymore. The Davis fight, let's be real, dog. Like, let's be real. Like, bro, that shit is not about to happen.
Unlikely now.
That shit is not about to happen. So it's like, what's the point in getting? And bear in mind, Ryan is big for lightweight. Like, he is big for lightweight. What's the point in continually cutting down to 135 when you're not going to fight any of these people?
Yeah, hurt your body for no reason.
Look, you know what I mean? Let me read the super chat. I'm gonna read the super chat and go to Jay Thunder Productions. Salute Ring IQ. You got one of the best channels on YouTube. Appreciate you, bro. Tyrese says Ryan gonna wear 5 pounds of makeup and lip gloss. His lip gloss is cool. His lip gloss is popping. Jay, 139 pounds. Bueno or no bueno?
No bueno. I mean, you guys haven't heard the news?
What?
Oh, Ryan, man, he actually went out one night in Hollywood, and what he's been doing is he's been buying a bunch of like makeup kits, and he's been doing that for like several issues during training camp, and Joe got tired of that shit, so he might dump him, man. So he's not making weight, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what's going on, you know what I mean? But all seriousness though, it's probably weight issues, maybe a potential upset, who knows? But this is a light welterweight contest. This ain't no lightweight stuff. So like I mean, so we could be seeing something. I don't know, man. I just can't shake the feeling that Ryan might lose this fight. If I'm being honest, you ever get those crazy feelings about certain fighters and fights?
Yeah, no. Yeah, like I mean, there's and upsets are in the air. Like they are. This has been kind of the year of the upset. So yeah,
this year and last year, really.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, look at what just happened to Blair. I think a lot of people. I didn't pick Blair. I picked Rocha based on some inside intel. But I think a lot of people picked Blair, and I think for those people, Blair getting beat up was an upset. I didn't pick anybody in Hector Garcia versus
Colbert.
Colbert. I didn't pick anybody. I didn't
Yo,
pick
what is
anybody.
that? What is that?
That's when you know when you about to say some shit, that sound goes off. I didn't pick anybody, but because I didn't know enough about Hector, I didn't pick anybody. So I'm like, I can't pick a fight where I don't fucking know nothing about the other guy. But that was an upset, bro. You got this shit. I know Alexis has a very unique take, and I kind of agree, but it still is an upset in the sense that I think the bookies had Colbert the favorite. So that makes it an upset.
Yeah, they did.
They had Colbert
because I remember the week of that fight. I was looking. I always look at the bookies like the week of a couple to see what's coming up. What's the odds looking like? I look at chances of upsets to toss like $20-$30 down. And I was looking at that fight and I'm like, I don't know enough about this dude because I don't like Colbert. But I'm like, it's the last minute replacement. But I'm like, nah, I don't know about this guy. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I did now.
Last minute replacements is a motherfucker. JBN. Let me. All right, I'm gonna pass it to Alexis. Go ahead, Alexis.
Well, you brought up the thing with bookies, like that the line, what they call the line, the odds are set. It's not based on anything scientific, unless you're like this really particular, like unless you're a guy like that guy in Casino, where that dude just gets into every little aspect and nuance of a particular event, and you know how they describe that guy. That's a particular type of bookie. But most of these lines are built on just where the betting money is on.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Like, look, if you want to know as far as the odds, that's just the money that's coming in and who they putting the money on. That's all that shit is.
That's all that is.
That's all that.
Like, you have a bunch of people. Again, you have a bunch of people that are under the influence of the myth. And I know I'm going to maybe say something that's upsetting to people, but they are under the myth of the slick black fighter.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
shit. It controversial, man. Like,
I love it. I love
it. Let me. I'm gonna let you finish, but just the views expressed on the channel don't necessarily represent the channel.
You should follow should be your own.
Just consider this a second opinion from a stranger online. My man Dwyer. Alexis, the floor is yours.
So what I'm saying is, like, it's like everybody that has a little slick movement and quick reflexes and can throw and have a little footstep. No, that's not the ticket. You understand?
No, I mean I agree.
To me, is this, and again, just like you, I didn't know enough about Hector Garcia, but how I've been going at Colbert.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because what I see is from his previous fights and who his opponents were and what he was how he beat them and what kind of damage was inflicted and the level of his opponent. None of those opponents I saw him with were, that I say, not there to be beat.
Let me say this
to
your credit, and this is why you got to give Alexis credit. He's seen it coming before a lot of people. He's seen it coming. The prediction wasn't quite what it turned out to be, but he just was not. And I saw the tweets that he wasn't convinced of this guy. And what Alexis said was that watch the PBC try to use this guy as the anti-Shakur. That they're gonna prop him up and ride Shakur's wave, with this kid. All the while, they ain't gonna fight. So at minimum, Alexis was never convinced of Chris Colbert.
Right, and the thing is, it's like a real basic principle, man. You can have these reflexes, you can have this skill set. If you can't pop a great, a guy with a good chin is going to walk you down and pressure you, take your punch, and take the fight out of you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
just basic principle.
Over and over again. It's not, it's not rocket science. If you can't pop a great, if you can't pop a great, then you have to be a really, really exquisite defensive fighter.
You do.
And that's
Paulie
not Colbert
Malignaggi.
either. You know,
Paulie.
that's not Colbert either. You have to be like a Pernell Whitaker type dude.
But Pernell could punch too, though. He could catch dudes, though. That's the thing.
Nah,
Say
but I
that
mean,
again?
he just means in the sense that you have to be like because Pernell was special, and anybody that knows anything about boxing knows that in the pocket, the man, you know, it could be raining and he won't get wet because
Walks
he was
between raindrops, man.
he's that good in the pocket.
Yep.
He is that good in the
They
pocket.
hit him with a bag of rice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So
look
that's why Pernell could go in the ring against a Julio Cesar Chavez because he was that level of defense.
and he was a Capricorn.
Anything
And he was a
less-
Capricorn.
Right,
Ooh.
exactly. Anything
Pernell.
level, I mean, anything lower than that, you're not. I'm telling you, man. There's a lot of
Mira Lara. Look. I am so over the Cuban school. The Cuban school.
Oh my god, bro!
You don't leave me the fuck alone with the fucking. All right, wait. Let me. Before I pass it to JBN, let me just clarify. Okay, Cuban school for amateurs. Cuban school for pros.
No, that's not
Don't
a pro
you know they want to
style.
torture you, Jules?
Because Julius, in the pros, this isn't about how many punches you land and just you're not counting body shots. No, this is about scoring blows, not just in the amateur. Oh, you hit him a bunch of times, throw a lot of punches. That's it. No.
Yeah,
This is a
the
pro.
Cuban school.
This is the pro game. Everybody sees a super dark person speaking Spanish and they fucking lose their pants. I'm like, bro, these guys, you hit and you move, but it's not the sweet science of hitting and don't get hit.
Let me just say this. I saw a tweet the other day and I had to stop myself from replying. And I did stop myself because I'm highly disciplined. I'm a very disciplined person. But the guy said in so many words that if Cuba would release their amateurs, they would take over the pro game. And I'm like, oh, so you think that everybody that wins a gold medal or everybody that medals, you think have you ever heard of Audley Harrison? Have you ever heard of Mikhail Aloyan? Have you ever heard of this guy that's at middleweight from France? What is it, Dominic? Is it Dominic Pocel? Matthew Bauderlique. Matthew Bauderlique bronzed in the last Olympics. You wouldn't know that because he hasn't fucking made a splash as a pro. What he has done is get knocked out. Right? This is the pros and the amateurs is different. You could get away with not having a lot of power in the amateurs. It's a 3-round fight. You can get away with that. But in the pros, to Alexis's point, you need power. You don't have to.
You need something. You need something. And that's what I tell people. Is the biggest difference. You're gonna read that super.
No. Go ahead. Finish your point. And I'll read it afterwards.
The biggest difference. We're gonna bring two people up. First of all, Mayweather could pop. Yeah. Mayweather was defense, and he was a strong individual. He can control your body. If he didn't have a punch, he could actually, what they call that, neutralize your offense by not like what he did to what's his name, Sugar Shane Mosley, when Mosley had him out, and then he just grabbed onto him, and Mosley couldn't break out of that. That is strength.
Yeah,
that is strength. That's another thing, right? So and then I'm gonna bring up Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson has the ability to have that kind of defense because of his otherworldly reflexes. His reflexes are crazy, and his sense of distance. He also has lightning fast hands, and people don't want to get hit with something they can't see coming. So he's gonna. That's why he has the type of fighting skill that can turn a fight boring because the guy really doesn't want to go which is what we were talking about with the Nicotilla fight. That fight was boring, but what I saw was that Nicotilla got hit a couple of times and said, "You know what? I don't like that."
Yeah. Look, Teddy Atlas, who I know Alexis is not crazy about,
kills.
He said it best. When you hitting a guy with counters, it's like somebody turned off the light in a room and you're just getting popped in the face. Like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. Like, chill. before you know it, you're gonna be like that. Like, nah, I don't want to get hit like that. And the fight gonna get slow, and ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm gonna read the super chat, then I'm gonna pass it to JBN. Name another fighter who got trapped in a corner, dodged every punch thrown at him, and walked out of said corner like he owns the place. Purnell was great. No, he wasn't just great. He was a Capricorn. JBN 139 pound. It's a catch weight if it's 139. Like for that, they might as well have just said 140. But they said 139. What do you think about it?
He's getting knocked the fuck out. That's what I think.
Tú lo crees? No juegues. Lo crees.
Hey man, that blueprint is out there of how Luke dropped him. He leaves his head still too much, and if Reynoso couldn't fix that. And I've seen footage of Devin Haney hitting him with that same punch when they're fighting on the amateurs, and I think that's why Ryan didn't ever want to fight him, because I think Devin knows the secret to drop him and KO him like that. And with a punch like that, you really don't need a lot of power, because it's the force and it's the speed that you don't expect that drops you and hurts you. And I mean, he's with Joe Goosen. He's been out being a diva, making movies, filming Brokeback.
Did you see that TikTok? Did you see that TikTok? Did you see that TikTok he did? He did this TikTok, right? He did this.
Fact. I'm like,
yo, listen, I'm gonna be real. I don't wanna. If he's like, yo no quiero ser malo con el muchacho. Pero...
Wait. Hey, Jules. Wait. With Jules. Was the TikTok he did? Was he was talking like a girl?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
He released that.
Yeah, man.
What?
Like,
Say that again.
Why?
Look, it's a TikTok. It's a TikTok, right? And it's a girl voice. It's literally a girl's voice, and she's
that
like,
was not funny. That wasn't funny.
And she said, the voice says, "What's your favorite curse word?" It's like, yo, really? Like, yo, this what you be doing?
You know what's worse?
Bro, man.
That voice fits him is what makes it even worse.
That's what made it. Yo, that's what made it bad. You looked at the shit like, yo, if I didn't know
the slick back hair, the baby face.
But I'm not a hater. Like I'm not a hater. Look, he pulled. You know, I'm not a hater. If he pulled joints, pull joints how you got to pull them, because we all trying to get a nut at the end of the day. So if you could pull these joints, being like Aldi Oscar, Family Dollar Oscar, because he ain't no Oscar, bro. Oscar was dope.
Oscar had bitches lined up at the weigh-ins ready for him.
Bro, Oscar was like the Mike Jackson. There was a time when broads was crying over Oscar, bro. Over fucking Oscar.
Literally, Bob Arum said that they had to ladies were throwing panties and bras at him at the airport. And all this kind of shit.
Yo, that's why Oscar was so wild, man. He had all the bitches on him, bro.
Y'all ever heard
I can't knock dude for real, because I would do the same shit.
Y'all ever heard that story Oscar said on the Steve Kim 3 Knockdown Rule? Where he, this dude was wild, bro. He, like one of them types of female reporters.
Mm-hmm.
Name one that interview.
Michelle Joy Phelps.
Yeah. So apparently she was fine. Actually, interviewed him. I think it was just before the fight, like either the night before or some shit like that. It was a press conference. I think it was the press conference before the fight or some shit like that. Bro, he talked loud, and he got around the corner like it was great. You got to get to that Steve Kim interview with Oscar De La Hoya, man. Banging.
He took her around the corner, say, yo.
No, pero también es que esos tiempos
like in a closet, like the janitor closet.
No, es que esos tiempos fueron diferentes también, ¿me entiendes? Esos tiempos fueron diferentes que ahora tú no puedes hacer cosas así, because tú no sabes if it's going to be like a Jenny Sushi situation con Pula. Porque mira lo que pasó. Mira, ella estaba, she was sitting on his lap when the cameras wasn't on them. Them photos came out. She was sitting on that dude's lap. Pero que cuando él le da un besito en la boca, ahí está el dinero. And she tried to get him.
Yeah.
Esos tiempos fueron diferentes. Antes tú podías coger chance así, like, you fucking in the broom closet. Mom, busting up. Get up out of there. Nobody got to know nothing. Now,
have cameras, bro.
Now, hasta que si te lo quieren dar, you still got to be careful. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
It's too much. It's too much to do.
By the way, Jules, like, are you? That tweet that Drew sent today. Are you taking that job at the massage parlor?
Bro, let me tell you something about that shit. Motherfucker, no, listen, it's this shit, right? It's like a new shit where the dude massage a joint whole body. The joint will be butt ass naked, a masseur, right? But you're not fucking her though. You see what I mean? Like you're not fucking. You just giving her like a full body massage. It's like a masseuse. But I ain't gonna be out here smelling ass and smelling like what the fuck? That's why I looked at like yo. Let me put it this way. You seeing that video right there? Oh, the joints is bad. The joints is bad. Yeah, that ain't the joints you gonna get, bro. You gonna get Fat Bertha, and you gonna get
Big Mama,
45 years old, bunions, motherfucking feet look like a goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Like gonna have calluses, all that shit.
La Chupitos.
Real shit,
You know who that is?
Fucking Pica Piedra feet, Pedro Pica Piedra feet. Like, nah, bro. And then you smelling, and I seen this shit. I'm like, I looked at the video. And I don't know, like, I'm different. You know what I mean? I seen, like, yo, bitch got her ass all in the motherfucker face. Like, yo, I don't want to smell that shit, fam. Like, nah, I ain't playing with you. Like, I don't give a shit if it's, I don't care. Like, I ain't just trying to be out here smelling ass. Smelling box, like the fuck, and I'm not even, nah. See, I'm good, B. I don't. Now, if you were saying that, like you gonna do that for like la modelo or la actriz or la atleta, pero no está sucia and get like, nah, I'm good, fam. I don't want that shit. I wouldn't want that job. I don't want that job. You could give that job to some sensual motherfucker that like putting baby oil in their hands and shit, but I don't want that job. Like, nah, I ain't fuck out of here, B. I don't want that shit. Real shit, yo. But yeah, so Box Watch, Ryan Garcia, 139 pounds. What do you make of it?
Yo, listen, there's something going on with these guys these days, you know. Something's going on with these boxers, yeah. They're a bit, what would I say? They're like narcissists, you know. They need yes men around them. They need to be told, yeah, you're the best, you're the greatest. They don't want to be told, they don't want to be disciplined and stuff like that. They're not treating it like a job and staying ready. And plus they're growing. These little boys are growing. They're getting bigger, man. They're all growing out of their weight classes. They need to come out of that 135 division and move up. Just do it properly. What's 139? That's 140. So just go and fight at 140. Like, Ryan doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He needs to jump off the boxing thing, go and be a social media influencer.
I agree.
Let Devin Haney and them, man, they move up to 140, Teofimo, move up to 140, and they need to carry on. I mean, look at, like, for instance, a bit slightly off topic, but I see this Edgar Balanga right? And he said that, oh, my guy was running the whole time and he was doing this and he was doing, like, bruv, you're not fighting how you need to fight to win that fight.
Yeah.
You're not. And the fact of the matter is, you got Rozier in your corner, but it come like you got a bunch of yes men in your corner. I'm like, why can't you, like, what he said, his what he defined as what happened in the fight, it seems to me like you just don't want to be told that you're wrong. You understand? Just like with that guy, like, taking a loss ain't bad, man. It's okay.
But let me say this. Let me say this.
Fine, it's not that bad.
Let me say this. The last two guys that and you can see that they're working on this. You can see that the moment that they put Edgar in there with someone who can move a little bit, and I believe that they're genuinely trying to work on this. This is why his last two fights were against moving targets. Coceres, Steve Rolls, they have that in common. They're moving targets that like to jab and move. And I believe that they're trying to get him to be able to cut off the ring and use his power. He can't do it. You know, if you put him in there, like, I genuinely believe this, and it's not because I like him or I don't like him. It's just that I believe the kid has power. The problem is he's relying on the other guy to sit there and punch with him. He wants to catch the guy between the shots because that's his best chance of using his power. And he has power. But outside of that power, he don't got a lot else. He don't throw a lot. He doesn't have the cardio to throw a lot. He definitely ain't much of a jabber, and he doesn't have much of a jab. He's just a really heavy-handed puncher. I think that the last 2 fights were geared towards breaking him out of that, but we see that like, yo, dog, it's not working. They put you in there with a guy that can move a little bit. It's over.
Like, are they showing him how to use that?
Punch resistance is suspect too as well.
I think his punch resistance is suspect because he needs to be at 75 and not 68.
See, you're with me in my point here. These guys are not being where they need to be, because you know why? It's dangerous where they need to be.
Yeah.
Tiafimo, Devin Haney, Garcia going to 140, pure killers up there. Edgar and David Benavidez going up to 175, just killers up there. And let's put them in there with the Liam Smith, my friend. It's gonna be dangerous.
No, I mean, he did look. This shit. I'm not against, because that kid, Edgar, he doesn't come from like a deep, amateur background, Olympian, all that. He don't come from that. So I'm okay with a guy that's learning on it. Like, I'm okay with that.
No, learn on the job. That's fine.
No, yeah, but to a point, like once you start getting to, let's say, 20 fights, regardless of anything, I'm gonna start expecting to see better. And if I don't, then I'm gonna get critical. With Edgar, it's that y'all promoted him like he was verified already. Like, oh, Puerto Rican star, Fat Joe, Lil Wayne. Like, yo, none of that shit matter if the dude don't win these fights. None of that shit matter. Now y'all doing fucking $100,000 featurettes about how his daddy got locked up and he gets $150 haircuts. Y'all spending all this bread to promote this dude, and y'all don't even know if he could really hang yet. But y'all promoting him already. Y'all need to promote Xander like that. Matter of fact, don't promote him like that. That's why he working, because y'all not filling his head up full of bullshit.
Wait a minute.
No, espera. Mira lo que yo estoy viendo. A Ryan Garcia, they filled his head. Oh, he's the next Oscar, yo. Oh. Same with Davis. Oh, he's southpaw. Oh, he hit hard. Oh, Edgar. Oh, he's knockout streak. Oh, Puerto Rican Cotto. Oh, and all is fucking up. All three of them is fucking up.
Same as Gervonta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he just said. The Tank, same thing with Tank.
Same shit with Tank.
And these guys, these guys you just mentioned, they seem to be very narcissistic, and they're buying into this hype from what they're getting from these guys. And it's just like Leonard Ellaby. I don't know. It's like he's so kissing this boy's ass, and he's not a boy anymore. They keep on saying he's a kid. He's a flipping man. He's a grown-ass man.
Bro. 27.
These guys need to move him on. He's never gonna. It's like he's never gonna move on. He's never gonna fight the fight. That's
Peter Pan, bro. He's Peter Pan, and Leonard Ellaby is Tinkerbell.
Bro, Gervonta be looking like he's 10 when he's up with those press conferences, just sitting there.
Bro, he's 20. JB, tú no viste, ese tipo tiene 27 años y se vistió como Ash Ketchum.
Listen, 27 years old, he's still not talking for himself in these press conferences. It's still Leonard and Floyd talking for him in these press conferences. They'll ask him a question, Floyd will be like, let me answer that. I'll answer that. The boy can't even speak for himself. These guys, they're getting on my nerves. This generation needs to go away. Shakur Stevenson needs to be the leader of the new generation. Bring up the next generation. Be the role model for the next dons. Because I
want to have a Bob Arum. I want to have a Bob Arum appreciation moment. I want silence. This is why you don't see Bob coddling somebody until after they did something. Like, people will tell you, oh, Bob he loved Loma. Yeah, but Loma beat Rocky Martinez in a way that Mikey Garcia did not. When Mikey fought Rocky Martinez, he got sat on his back pocket. When Loma fought Rocky Martinez, he knocked the motherfucker out. Yeah, I mean, you got to do
Solito made Mikey quit.
Yeah, I mean, well, we can say that.
No.
Está bien. Okay, está bien.
That's not far off, is it?
I mean,
that's not far off, is it? Just
but you know the rules. It was a clash of heads, and they went through the scorecards.
I wasn't really serious. It's just funny.
But because I've heard that before. Essentially, what I'm getting at is you have to earn Bob's favor. You do that. He's not gonna blow smoke up your ass the way Leonard is blowing smoke up Gervonta. He's like, nah, bro, you losing me money. Nah, bro. Like, nah.
Julius,
Yeah.
it's because Bob don't play about his bread, bro. That's like Bob.
And he not motherfucking going to, dog. That's how that go.
Bob is all about making that fucking money, and he's not about to sit here paying a dude that's not gonna bring him nothing in the future. That's what it is.
And I don't want to see no more 10-minute Edgar Berlanga, Elmira, Sing Sing, Rikers Island feature. Like, I don't need to know your daddy was at Rikers, bro. Start the fucking fight, bro. I don't.
You know what I don't like nowadays?
How many times they're gonna replay that shit? I mean, we saw it like twice before the fight started.
They're treating these fighters like celebrities too much, man, and they're giving them like big heads before they start proving themselves.
Anybody say?
Hold on, go ahead, Alexis.
Problem with Edgar Berlanga, right? A major part of it, first of all, you know he came to Top Rank. He already had 11 fights.
Yeah.
Right? So that streak, they only, whatever. They weren't responsible for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
He came in with 11 fights. They you know who was a good opponent for him? That guy, the first guy that took him deep.
Michael Seals? Was it Seals? No.
Something. A really good opponent. Was it?
I know who you're talking about.
Demond Nicholson.
Demond Nicholson. You're right.
That was like, that's we're gonna see what you got, this and that, the other. First of all, Edgar Berlanga he's a head case. His father wasn't around. His father, I know we're all tired about that shit, but his father grew up with his mom. She's temperamental. You know what I'm saying? What I don't like about Edgar Berlanga is this. When he gets hit, he doesn't become a beast. He doesn't get bigger after getting hit.
He gets smaller, bro.
This guy's so free. He shells up. You see it.
Now,
if you sneeze at Crawford, he'll try to punch you. Let alone if you hit him.
He'll try to fuck you up.
That's what I like. And then Edgar Berlanga, so that's what it's like. He gets the punch button, and then it's like his whole demeanor changes. Then he doesn't handle the defeats well. Like at the end of this fight, instead of saying, "Dude, man, I got to do better," the dude said, "Oh, the guy ran all night." No.
Es que tenía vergüenza. Toda esa bandera puertorriqueña, todo eso boricua ahí.
Right.
So that tenía vergüenza, yo. He's embarrassed,
he's
bro.
He's not gonna headline anymore. It's gonna be Zayas.
It better be
Zayas.
Nah, man.
It's like Edgar wants every fight to be a slobber knocker. It's like he wants everything to just be in there.
Listen,
you punch me, I punch you.
They need to keep Zayas where he's at because we don't want him to get a big head either. Just don't start putting him in main events. Don't start putting him out there like that.
Exactly.
Because we don't know if he's going to start getting a big head too.
Pack up his bags, get out of New York City, either heads to Florida to Salas.
No, porque él estaba en Florida. Mira, esto es lo que yo pienso de verdad. Not Florida, nowhere on the East Coast.
No. To McGirt in Cali.
Eso, okay, ahí. Make him uncomfortable. Yo pienso esto. This is what they need to do. Yo, put him in a meat locker. Put him in a meat locker. He has to sleep in a meat locker every night. Con un cuito y un tent. You got to turn him into un animal. And you only feed him gazpacho, cold tomato soup. Con eso, yo, he's going to be a bad motherfucker. Pero con la ese tipo he partying, bro. He getting
honey. He arrived. And he ain't getting nowhere.
You could tell he didn't learn.
I physically, I do believe the kid, because somebody said that the other thing with Berlanga is that he has a tell. He does this mannerisms. One time I heard Bernard Hopkins describe his fight with Tito Trinidad. He said that he watched Tito Trinidad's feet, and every time he's about to throw a punch, he hops 3 times. And that what he would do is watch his feet. When he was about hopping, like the first or second time, he pop him with a jab and get him out of his rhythm. That was from Bernard Hopkins. People are out there watching really great fighters can know little nuances like that. And this guy Berlanga has a tell. He doesn't move his feet. He doesn't move his feet. He's not properly trained like that. And the other thing is that, but as far as physically, because somebody was saying, oh, that his punches are slow. His punches ain't slow.
Mira,
What it
te voy a
is
decir lo
that
que
you can
neces-
tell they're coming.
This is what it is. This is what it is. And look, I'm using all the energy from the cosmos. He needs one thing. He needs one thing that'll change the game. One
I know what
thing.
that is. I know what it is.
He needs
Yep.
a variation of the jab because that's what's missing. He needs a different variation of the jab. You can't just throw it out there all the time the same way. They're going to read it. So you need to send him to a jab specialist because everything is off the jab. The right hand is off the jab. The jab sets up the combinations. If you don't have a good jab, you won't get far. If you don't
Julius,
have a good
you
jab,
know
you
the
won't
saying,
get far.
a good right hand will take you around the block, but a good jab will take you around the world.
Edgar
It's true.
Berlanda's going to end up on the 4 train the way he's going.
Look at Larry Holmes with his jab. You know,
Right.
Yep.
point
Boom.
in case.
Lennox
Yo,
Lewis.
yo, if
Lennox
you-
Lewis as
if-
well.
If you didn't
Right.
get past Larry's jab, there was no fight, bro.
man.
If you didn't get
He
past
needs-
his jab, there was literally no fight.
We know that Edgar, and even with this, is questionable because what Alexa said is true. When he gets hit, he don't come back. He don't even try to get it right back. He gets tentative. He'll lay off. Like he was getting touched by Rose. Rose connected with 1 or 2 jabs, and he would lay off. He wouldn't even like, you fucking hit me up.
Yeah.
Crawford.
No.
If you
No, he was not.
if you
Rose was
park your
running.
car next to Crawford's car, bro, he is gonna beat the shit out of you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. You know what he's gonna do if you hit Bud, he's gonna look at you, smile, stick out his tongue, and then go right back to whooping your ass. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, like the worst thing that could happen is you actually land on Crawford. Whereas Berlanga, to Alexis's point, that you could touch him and he's not, you really not gonna pay for it.
He's
And
a
that
bully.
that's what makes me that's what makes me nervous about him. That like, okay, well, let's say you get this guy to a jab specialist, somebody that could really teach him how to use his lead hand and focus on his lead hand and setting up shots as opposed to just trying to get off his power, because that's what it looks like. It looked like he's just trying to get off power punches. It's like, well, they can see your power punches until you can hide them. At this point, they're not going to land. So you need to disguise them or switch up, throw an intense jab, like a step jab. And then maybe you just pull with the lead hand. Maybe you just touch the guy with it. Touch him. Get him thinking about their hand. And then maybe you hit him in the bread basket. Until you start doing shit like that, none of them power shots is going to land, bro. None of them shits. They all, at that level, the Steve Rose level, guys like Steve are going to see them coming. And they're going to know to get out of the way. So something got to change.
So I think we can agree that he needs a lot of work then.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
You should go see Buddy.
What's
He's
your
a boob
guys'
job.
opinion on Joshua?
Boob job?
Said he needs a lot of work.
Hey, what's your guys' opinion on Joshua getting Usyk's old trainer?
Who you talking about? James Ali Bashir? James Ali. It's the James Ali Bashir.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good because
who's old trainer?
Usyk's old trainer. Well, he's not as like he was with him for a time. James Ali Bashir. He was with him for a time. Not bad. I just don't know if
Ain't gonna help him.
I don't think that's the best
it
move.
might help him more than because he didn't have much of a plan before. This guy actually knows Usyk really well because he worked with him.
But
so it
you
may
know
give
what?
him somewhat of a plan now.
No.
Country. Let me say this. My thing is this: that overthinking. It felt like overthinking is what costed him the first fight. Like you thinking about this too much, bro. Get on his little ass and take him out because this shit where we gonna fence with the jab and I'm gonna try to get off. That's what causes you to fight. Like, bro, you're not gonna win that fight with him. So you got to focus on the fight that you can win. You're bigger, you're stronger. Lay it all on the line and get at him. Right?
He needs methodical pressure.
Well,
but is he gonna get that from James Ali Bashir?
No, that's why I'm saying like how. So it depends. Well, one, when Bashir was with them, Two, how long? Because if you're with Usyk for his first 5 or 6 fights, bro, he's how much has he gone through from then till now in
That's
terms of
true.
championship competition? How much has he developed? So you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you can have him, but it's like if you didn't get Usyk's like recent trainer, then I don't know what it's really gonna do for you, to be honest, because you haven't seen he hasn't been with him at this type of level.
Maybe
You know
he
what I mean?
knows Usyk's Achilles heel. Maybe Joshua breaks
Yeah,
out
maybe.
round 6. He starts tickling Usyk. Ha 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 ha. And he knocks him
Look,
out.
I can see that. I
can
can
I
see
say
Hey,
that.
something
Julius, I
about
wanted to
that,
ask
You
please?
think
you.
it's possible, yo?
Can I
I
say
want.
something about that, please?
I want. I go ahead, Alexis, then pass it to Issa.
Okay, the thing with Usyk and Bashir is just a placeholder while Lomachenko's father finally decided to take on another trainee. And every time Bashir didn't do nothing, it's a placeholder. Just kind of like well, forget it. The point is that that he learned from Lomachenko's dad. The other thing with AJ, why AJ can't execute that kind of plan is because he doesn't believe in his chin. If you look at pressure fighters, real pressure fighters don't mind getting hit.
That's true.
That's
That is
it.
Yep.
true.
They believe
Yeah,
in their
I
chin.
gotta agree.
Whether you go to Triple
Canelo.
G, Margarito, Canelo, you're pressure fighters. You
Chisora,
believe
perfect
in your
example.
chin, and
I
he will
was
never be able to apply game plan. He
that
does
rugged game
not
plan of
believe in his
Chisora,
chin.
Derek Chisora is a Capricorn.
and
Oh,
what
he is.
no,
I
what
didn't know
Alexis
that.
Tawks
what
got to
Alexis
plug that in,
no,
man.
what Alexis said is really true though, because no, what he said is really true, because when it comes to like how I think it was Box Watcher said Chisora too. People they remember looking at Chisora fight before AJ. Everybody said, but I'm like, but the thing about Chisora is he's not as timid. He's not as worried as AJ. Like that dude, man, he's been knocked out. He's been dropped 1,000 times. Like that motherfucker don't care. He's gonna go in there and bum rush you and try to get your ass out of there. But AJ, it's just he don't have that mentality. He's like a 20-mile-an-hour car. Chisora is like an 80-mile-an-hour. You can't just ask AJ to just push it to 80 all the time. Like he don't got that in him. And it's not about training to do it. It's
Well,
just that
no,
yo,
no. I
He's
you
too
mean,
much of a fucking nice guy.
no.
That's his fucking
It's.
problem.
Let me say this. Let me say this. See, what's unique about AJ's situation is that every time he goes out there, and people do this to him, they don't really do this to other fighters. But every time something happens, oh, is it the end of his career, right? So that's what's weighing on him, and he needs a trainer that will help him focus on the inside and getting to the inside, getting inside. Believe it or not, I think Abel Sanchez would be good for that. I think he would be good for that. Like, throwing
Yes.
hard. I think he would be good for that. That what I want is to get inside on Usyk. Can you teach me how to get there? What do I have to do to get close to him and land hard to the body? Because the straight shots, he can get under and around the straight shots. He can slip and hook those shots. He can bob and weave. We done been through this. How do I get inside on him? Maybe Abel would be a guy that you go to. I still stand by Joey Gamache also, that guy, he's not training a bunch of guys, but he knows how to make a plan. He knows how to make a plan that'll disrupt the guy. With James Ali Bashir, I'm like, I just don't know what to make of it, because this is not a fight where you need to overthink per se. It's just you're not using what you have. And I feel like you're not using what you have because of what Alexa said. You don't want to get hit. You're gonna get hit, bro. You're gonna get hit. So you got to eat that. You know what I mean?
I don't like this guy that he's got in there. Who's that guy that he's got in there with him? Angel something.
Angel Fernandez, but he been there though. He been
Yeah,
there, like he been
there.
part of
That's
the
the
team.
thing. It's not like it's someone that he's brought in new, but it's like he's using him more. And obviously, AJ don't really rate him as well, because he's bringing in someone else as well. So I don't know about this Angel Fernandez guy. So he was a MMA trainer as well at some point or something like that.
I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Dewey Cooper, he's going back and forth training guys in MMA and boxing and girls too. So
with this Angel guy, that's AJ's comfort zone again. He needs to step out of his comfort zone.
Put him in the meat locker with Edgar Berlanga. Give him nothing but Cole Caspacho. He's gonna come.
Cole Caspacho. What are you talking
AJ
about?
need to go
The
out,
meat locker.
fuck a couple strippers,
Hey guys,
You know
hey
what?
guys, I'm gonna
You
leave the
know
show
he
anyway.
needs
Big
to
up, Tyler.
ejaculate.
I'm gonna go now.
You need to get him a couple of strippers. Tell him to ejaculate in the strippers. After that, nothing is gonna matter. Like, bro, fuck
Ismail
that.
Salas.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Hey
I'm
yo,
gonna knock
Lee,
his head
have a
off,
good
B.
time, man. I'll look and listen to the rest of this tomorrow, man. Big up.
All right, man. But
Have a
yeah,
good one, bro.
I feel like certain trainers are good for certain things, and I think that he needs a more offensive trainer that'll teach him how to, because essentially what he wants to do, or at least the impression that I get, I can't read his mind, but I feel like what he wants to do is he wants to be able to apply the pressure safely. So, well, if you're in the market for that, you need a mid-range to inside. You want to be more of a mid-range to inside guy, and you want to focus on those things. Abel's not bad for that because, a lot of his guys were actually good mid-range to inside fighters. So, a lot of, like Gassiev, he was really good mid-range to inside. Like, a lot of people will look at the Usyk fight and say, oh, he ain't shit. Bro, that's Usyk that did that to him. Everybody wasn't going to do that to that man. Like, nah, bro, Gassiev was a bad motherfucker. So
They forgot the Dorticos fight.
yeah, like he beat the look. I picked Dorticos to win that fucking fight. He beat the shit out of Dorticos. So
I always wanted Bradis versus Gassiev.
I always wanted that too. Somebody would have died in that fight. Probably would have been Gassiev. Bradis is a Capricorn.
Yo, weren't you a Capricorn, Julius?
As a matter of fact, I am. What gave it away?
Oh, wow, what a coincidence. I don't know, maybe you talked about it.
Wow.
Already. That's probably what gave it away.
You are very observant, JBN. I didn't even, I thought this, I thought I had that under control. I thought I had that under wraps.
Plus, hey guys, did you know that Nico Ali watches Muhammad Ali's grandson? Did you
Get
guys know
out of here!
Yeah.
Get out of here! Did you know that Edgar Berlanga's dad did a bid in Rikers Island?
Well, it was
pretty much racist.
Willie Lynch says left hook to the liver, right to the jaw, kill a body and kill a head, will die. Usyk is only just a man, admittedly a great man. Nobody is, and yeah, I mean I think that's the mentality that he's lacking. They're like, yo, dog, that's just a dude, bro. That's just a dude. All that shit, like, yeah, he dope. Put all that shit out your mind. That's just a dude across the ring, bro. That's all that is. Hit that motherfucker hard enough, he gonna fall. Hit him hard enough, he gonna fall. Just get at him. You know what I mean? Fuck the fencing or the jabs. Fuck the bullshit. Yeah, you got the risk getting knocked out. You do. But you just tried the Charles Xavier route. I'm a fence with the jab, and I'm gonna pick the moment. I'm gonna try for the right. I miss. All right, back to the jab. Like, you did all that already, bro. Now what you got to do is just do your best to run him over. And if that means going out on your shield, fuck it. On the other side of that risk is everything you want.
Let me ask you guys this: do you think that AJ needs to go back to doing what he knows best, like being a textbook boxer puncher, with the exception of throwing combinations?
See, this is the thing, right? What he requires a good boxer puncher, right? Good boxer puncher. Some of the best boxer punchers, right? They are the guys who are willing to gamble, Those are like, yeah, I'm going for the knockout. That's what I'm going for. I might get knocked out, but, I'm going for the knockout. What's fucking up AJ is that he's been stopped, and maybe he hasn't quite gotten over it yet, that he's been stopped before.
I think he has.
You know what I mean? Like, that's an obstacle that Lennox had to overcome. Because remember, he got dropped by motherfucking McCall, and he got stopped again by Rockman many years later. It can be overcome, but it's you overcome it when you realize, like, yo, dog, I'm here to knock you the fuck out, bro. You're gonna have to knock me out because I'm here to knock you the fuck out.
Stop respecting Usyk so much. He's giving him too much respect.
Yeah, like, it's like he not mad at him. Like, yo, you should be mad at that mother. Like, I know you trying to be cool and all of that, right? But you got to bring the gang style, bro. Like, nah, fuck that shit, bro. This fucking dude beat me, took my belts. Everybody trying to clown me. This hoe ass Tyson Fury. Fuck you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get on your G shit. Like, not even on, just be a human. Admit that it bothers you. Admit that it makes you mad. Yo, like, nah, man, I don't get no credit. Think of all these motherfuckers, right? That don't want to give you credit for shit, even though you fought the people that they trying to build a name off of. Fucking Joe Joyce is about to fight Joseph Parker. Bro, I beat Joseph Parker years ago. That's who you fighting?
I know,
fucking
man.
Fucking wait. I'm not done. You think Otto Valine would have went 12 rounds with me because he went 12 rounds with him and he supposed to be a god. He supposed to be great. Look at his face after that Otto Valine fight. You think Otto would have did that to me? Get me Otto Valine. If I can't get Usyk in the ring, get me Otto Valine. Well, I'll show you how to do him. You gotta let that shit eat at you so you could get the fire. Like, nah, B, I ain't even here to box with Usyk. Look, we could be whatever after the fight, but I'm gonna try to kill him. If you not there, don't even bother, bro. Don't bother. Don't. He's just gonna get you again. If you don't want to annihilate this man, don't bother. Don't bother. Same thing's gonna happen again.
Yeah, it's true. Can't go in the.
By the way, did y'all hear? Did y'all hear Josue Vargas is back in action?
Yeah. He about to fight this weekend, but the problem is that motherfucking, I ain't gonna front. PBC got a good card this weekend, bro. Tim Tszyu, Terrell Gausha, brother. Yeah. I gotta watch that shit. My man Tim Tszyu.
That's this weekend.
That's this weekend, bro.
Jules, we going live? We going live, sir?
I might. I don't know. Like, I feel like I gotta pay attention to that fight. Like, I really gotta watch it. But I'm definitely gonna go live for Warrington versus Martinez. I know that. But
we gotta see Ebony. We gotta see Ebony too in action.
Yeah, of course. But like, this the fucked up shit. Sky got a card also. Like, it's like 4 cards this weekend. Ain't Burchell fighting this weekend?
Burchell is coming back.
Yeah, he gonna fight the dude that Shakur fought, Nicotila.
Where's Josue Vargas fighting?
On the top rank card.
Yeah, that's on the that's on the Burchell.
No.
That's on the Burchell card. Yeah.
Yeah, that's on the Burchell card. Yo no sé con quién él está peleando. I don't know who he's fighting though. I don't know who he's fighting.
Burchell versus Ryan Garcia.
Ojalá en Jesucristo.
Lo crucifica.
Yo no sé quién gana esa pelea, de verdad.
That'd be an interesting fight, man.
No, esa pelea está buena. Mira, para mí la pelea que makes the most sense, Josué Vargas, Teofimo López. That's a good fight.
Yeah.
I agree.
Pero,
what's the Sky card?
The Sky card is Richard Riakpor's cruiserweight unbeaten cruiserweight they got versus Ju something, Ju something. And it's not better than the Matchroom card. Let's put it that way. It really isn't. Like, the Matchroom card completely blows it out of the water. But who is Lopez gonna fight when he comes back? That's a serious question, bro.
Talking about Teofimo Lopez, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
Barboza? Ain't it Barboza?
Well, we know that Barboza wants it. That's what we know, that he wants it. But I don't know if that's going to be the first guy they give him. Is it?
If it is.
Isn't Uncle Bob mad at him because he found out they were trying to conspire to make another fight and another promotion with Devin Haney?
Sí, pero ¿tú crees que lo va a ponerlo? I mean, like, you think he's going to do that, though? Barboza straight off the bat, off top, Barboza.
Sink or swim, bro. Sink or swim now.
That's true, bro.
That's what I'm thinking, that it's sink or swim for him.
That's true, though. That is true.
All I gotta say is he better be ready for that.
I could go for Teofimo versus Jose Pedraza. I like that fight.
Oh yeah. I think even though Pedraza lost, he still gave a good account of himself in that fight.
He did because he fucking survived. He fucking survived.
Yeah. He gave Ramirez fits in a few rounds. I noticed. He was making Ramirez look
bro,
silly.
I thought I picked Ramirez to win the fight, but I thought that Ramirez was going to be able to knock him out. But I got to give Pedraza credit. The dude got feet, man. Like, he won that fight with his feet. I'm not one. He survived. He survived. Yep. Yeah, like, he survived because of his feet. Because he lost the fucking fight, but he survived.
You know what fight I would like to see? I would like to see Pedraza against Gervonta Davis at 140.
I mean, I would like to see it, but it ain't gonna happen.
I know, but
y'all think Ramirez is another guy that's really drowning himself to make that 140? Because
ese tipo es grandísimo.
He looks like shit at every weigh-in.
No, he's not. No es eso. No. A mí me gusta Jose Ramirez. Es que he is what he is, bro. He's a pressure guy, and that's what I like. He's a pressure guy. Like, no va a ser noche fácil con ese tipo. But imagínate Teofimo trying to deal with that big ass dude, B.
No, I like him too. That's why I don't want him to like keep drowning himself and diminish his power. Because I like him. He's a good fighter too.
Sí, pero si él va para el 147, ¿con quién va a pelear?
That's true, man. That weight division is too. it's too political.
Es un fracaso allá arriba, man. Por eso que él está en el 140, porque por lo menos en 140 Top Rank has the run of the place. You know that Lopez is about to come to your division. You know that, you might be, maybe in a couple of fights you could fight for a belt. 147, forget it, bro. Like, look, Jared Ennis is on the same side of the street, more or less. He's not a PBC guy, but he is a Showtime guy. And the best they could do for him is Thomas Dulorme. Like, this is fucking terrible up there, bro.
I think Tio's ceiling is at 140, dude, and even then he's gonna have problems.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Who's he gonna beat at 140? Let's run that. Like, who do you guys think he can beat at 140?
Pedraza, maybe.
Maybe Josue. I know Josue, probably him for sure. So
I'm gonna go to our Puerto Rican expert, Alexis. Can he beat Josue Vargas?
Oh yeah. Well, Josue Vargas was the one that his main sparring partner for getting him ready for Lomachenko. Yeah. So he was in there with him. Not that means anything, but yeah, Josue Vargas again. He's another guy that has it's incapable of popping the grate. No, but I think Teofimo Lopez's ceiling is a bit higher than some may think. I really, he talked himself into that loss. He did it to himself, but I don't think that fight that he lost to Cambosos in any way, shape, or form defines his level of fighter.
Pero ese tipo no es estable, man. Él es como.
Yeah, he's a knucklehead.
No, pero it's like you look. It's like I kind of agree with what you're saying, that he's better than what he showed that night. I do agree with that, but he don't have the stability in his outside of the ring shit.
Yeah, you know who talked to me about him? You remember? Cesar Junior Rivas, right?
Yeah, I know Cesar. Yeah, I remember Cesar.
All right. Do you remember? Listen, Cesar Junior Rivas. I don't know if I've ever told you this before. He grew up around Cesar Junior Rivas, Teofimo Lopez.
Sí.
Yeah. Listen, if get in contact with Cesar Junior Rivas for years, when Teofimo, that Cesar Junior Rivas is all in those
He's connected. But he's a scientist, though. He's a scientist.
No. But I'm saying, but he was in that boxing circuit. He's in those gyms. So Teofimo Lopez was around him. You understand?
Wow.
He told me. I'm telling you, when that kid was undefeated, when he was on the crest chasing Loma, he said, "Listen, everything that nigga's doing, mira, te lo estoy diciendo, word for word." He said, "That kid is this, he's that, and he's the third." And I said, "Yo, Cesar, but nah, this dude, I was like trying to, And he said, no. He's a this and that and the third. Everything that he described is exactly what. He's a head case, that his father's this, that his father's that. You watch, you're gonna keep watching. That dude is gonna do this and that." He said he was a total fucking knucklehead, bro. And I'm talking years before. I mean, at least a year and a half, 2 years before.
Bueno, pero con eso tú me estás diciendo lo que yo estoy pensando, que ese muchacho no es estable, que él tiene el talento, pero no tiene estabilidad to really rebound and be okay. Like, nah, porque eso, everybody at 140, let me tell you something, bro. He don't beat Regis Prograis. He don't. No, he don't. He does not, bro.
But what do you think about him being in the Reynoso gym, though?
Mira, you know what that's good for? No. Look. As far as a trainer switch, right? Like, let's say, okay, you're gonna be an Eddie Reynoso fighter. I actually said that myself, that's a perfect style mesh, because Eddie Reynoso and what Teofimo does characteristically, it gels very well.
Yes.
But you have to.
Reynoso likes aggressive fighters, and he's aggressive.
Well, no, but not just aggressive, but defensively minded aggressive fighters that stay off the line and work off the counter. That they're going to angle off and roll and counter. He likes those kinds of fighters.
Yes, exactly.
And that works if you have stability. He don't have stability, bro. Ese muchacho divorcio. Este tipo, el Mountain le dio un puño.
Can you imagine Reynoso trying to put up with Teofimo Sr.?
Bro, imagine that shit, bro. Imagine that shit. Like, and you can't make this up. You're preparing for a fight, and you let a 250-pound man punch you in the chest, right in the chest.
Yo, yeah, that was so stupid.
You're a fucking moron, bro.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he wasn't killed.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then after the fight, I couldn't breathe out of my chest. I didn't know it was. Oh, so the guy, the 250-pound man that punched you in the chest a couple of weeks ago. You didn't put.
You know what? You know what? Alexis touched on something just now. It's like a buddy of mine, right? Who watches, who subscribed. It's like a doctor actually covered that fight, like an actual doctor who's got a channel, and he covered like how T.O. got punched in the chest with his son by that mountain man or whatever. He said that's probably what did it. That probably what that's literally what caused
they said he had
probably punctured something or did something to his nervous system or whatever. So yeah,
it's like you're not supposed to be hit. Like really, the human body not supposed to be hit at all, let alone the head. But for you to absorb it, you felt the full brunt of the punch. You clenched up your chest, you tensed your shit up, and took the whole punch. So that a couple of weeks later, what are we hearing? Oh, he had air in his chest. Gee. I wonder what happened.
Right.
Wow.
Fucking moron, man.
He's a first class dumbass for that, for real.
That's the perfect first class dumbass. Like, bro, your body. I don't say this shit to be like. Well, I am the Shaolin monk. I am the cosmos. Your body is a temple, bro. That's your bread and butter. Treat it good. Treat it like a car. You don't want to just scratch up your car, right? You ain't just gonna park any old kind of way. You ain't gonna park any old. Well, that's your body. Your body is getting you this money, bro. You gotta treat it right. You gonna let this big ass man punch you in the why?
Right? Why?
For
what? That's what he called promoting. Fucking fight nobody even wanted to see in the first place.
That's like when Adrian Broner ends up in a fucking wheelchair in a stupor. Oh no, he's promoting a fight. He's promote which fight? He's fighting for his life at the hospital. You know, whenever Broner does some dumb shit, he's gonna promote. It's like that shit. Like, bro, you're not promoting anything. You're being an idiot. You're being an idiot. Yeah. That's what you're doing. You're being an idiot.
Right? The only way Teofimo Jr. is going to save his career is to get the hell away from his dad, which probably won't happen.
Exactly, because he said that. He said that, like, my dad is number one, and I love my dad. Man, listen, man. It's a lot of us out here, like myself.
Me.
You know what I mean? We don't know our fathers. And it's all right. Like, bro, I'm an 80s baby, man. A lot of us didn't know our dads. The fuck? That shit don't mean nothing, bro. Like, you got to separate business. If this is bad for business, dad, you still dad. You ain't gonna stop being dad, but you need to go somewhere.
The thing with T.O., like, I think he deep down he knows. I think he knows deep down that his dad is. He's like the
episode of 90210. Like, he's gonna cry like, I really love my dad. I just want to fuck these bitches.
But there's a difference between knowing and doing something about it and knowing and not doing nothing about it.
Well, I like that kid, man. I think he could. Look, I like that kid. Like, let me stop being a prick, because I actually like that kid. I think he could be great for boxing. Honestly, do. I think he could be, like, really super duper dope for boxing. And what a testimony he would have if he could turn it all around, But you got to make big boy decisions. Like, your dad, that can't happen again. You know what I mean? Like, all these distractions and all this shit, I really need to focus up, because I'm about to go to a division where everybody hits as hard or harder than I do.
And they bigger.
That division is crazy, man.
And they bigger than he
nuts,
is too.
Bro.
Top it off.
Think about it. Gary Antoine Russell, Montana Love, Regis Prograis, Jose Ramirez, Jose Zapata. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro.
Subriel Matias.
Subriel Matón. El matón, que ese tipo mata gente.
Let's not forget.
Did you name
about
Josh
that,
Taylor as
but
well?
He's
Does he count?
actually got the body.
Well, you know, Josh about to move up, so it ain't even about nothing.
But
But
Jack
look,
Catterall.
Jack Cataract, that kid could
Hello.
box.
Catterall,
Yep.
yeah.
Jack Kakarot could box, bro. Like
Got
motherfuckers
sick
can't
with it.
sleep on Kakarot. He
Hey,
could
listen,
box.
And he's got decent power. He's got
don't
good power
sleep.
too.
I think
Kakarot could crack.
Yo, man, that's a hard division, bro, for anybody.
I think it's gonna be T.O.
Yeah, there's a lot
and
of killers.
Catterall for the vacant WBO.
I would like that. That's a great. You know what?
That's nice.
If he,
That's nice.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. See, this is why I like. This is why I fuck with Alexis, bro. The perfect fight for you to show the world that I'm the Honduran hero is beating Jack Catterall. Why? Unofficially, many people feel that Jack is this division's undisputed champion. So what can you do to erase the Cambosos laws from the minds of people and make them believe that it was just a fluke, that it was just a one and done, it was a one-off, that he didn't beat me, the circumstances beat me. Fight Jack Catterall. Beat him. Beat him. He just made the undisputed 140-pound champion of the world look like doo-doo. If you could go in there and beat him, people are going to say, nah, George, you just got lucky, bro. If you fight him now, he will fucking kill you, bro.
Perfectly rebuild a career there, man.
Fucking kill you, bro. Like, you got lucky, bro. Like, now look, you can't lose to George Shish Kebab and then go up there and fight Jack Cataract. If you beat Jack and you make Jack look like doo-doo, they're gonna be like, yo, bro, that shit with George, that won't happen again. Go ahead, George. If you bought a body, go fight him then. But you know what I mean? But that's what you got to do. Nothing else will suffice. Not even Zepada, not even Chong. Like, nah, if you can beat Cataract and you can make Kakarot look bad, bro, yo, UK and US, the Brits is gonna be like, special fighter. His special fighter is what he is. That's they gonna say.
Did you talk about the Haney Camboso situation? You think that fight's gonna happen?
You know what? I'm not gonna make bold proclamations, but I just honestly see this. There's two sides to this. Lou doesn't like Eddie, and Lou's not gonna do Eddie any favors. So you have to consider that. You also have to consider that Bill Haney could fuck it up. He could fuck it up. Who says he can't fuck it up? You got two different variables that can fuck up this fight. And my thing is that I don't know if the people in Devin Haney's team and his corner are going to tell him the reality of it. You are very fortunate to have made the kind of money you've made because you're not that big a draw yet. You really aren't, to justify the kind of money you've been getting. But now you're at a turning point where you're not going to make 135 forever. You're getting bigger because you're young. You need to beat this guy so that you can actually gain some marquee value. The sad thing about Devin Haney, and I know you're not big on him, Alexis, is that, look, he fought Linares. Where Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight Linares, he fought Linares. Where Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight Joseph Diaz, he fought Joseph Diaz. However he looked, he fought them. And he actually, because of that, he actually has an okay resume at 135, better than Gervonta Davis's. Yeah, he fought fucking Joseph Diaz, who beat Javier Fortuna. You know, he fought Jorge Linares, who beat Luke Campbell, who dropped Ryan Garcia. You know, so the resume is actually okay. It's not the worst one that's there, you know, and your people need to be real with you that this is one of those moments in your career where you got to make a big boy decision. Like, if you have to acquiesce to being a B-side, if you have to acquiesce to taking short money, if you have to acquiesce, boom, yo, do it. Do whatever you got to do to get that guy in the ring so you could show everybody, because you know how I just said that about Teofimo and Jack Cataract, right? Okay, George Cambosos just made Teofimo look crazy. Beat Teofimo to the punch. Now you go make George look crazy in George's neck of the woods. Be a legend. And don't tell me it can't be done. Usyk did it. How many times did Usyk do it? In other people's backyards, in their neighborhoods. Right. He went to Russia. And I said it then before the war started. Yo, is he really going to go to Russia for Garcia? Wow. Nobody knew what it meant then, but like, because most Americans didn't know. Yeah, they got beef.
Well,
Ukraine and Russia got beef.
Oh yeah,
you
they've
see,
been
Jules,
having beef,
these
and
dudes
that was
are
a
all
huge
cut
fight.
from the same cloth that the old school fighters are. They're willing to go into people's backyards and do that stuff.
Throwbacks, the
A lot of these-
throwbacks, the
yeah,
throwbacks. Yep.
Well, he's
like
a Capricorn country. You know, if we don't do it 100, we don't do it, bro.
you know
That's
who
how we
else is like
build.
that? Is Tim Zoo. Tim Zoo's fighting a lot too. I admire that about him.
I like that kid, man. I really hope he don't get robbed this weekend. But that fight is in Minneapolis for a reason, and they offered him that option for a reason. And it ain't because, yeah, man, we really want to. No. You want mandatory status to go to Terrell Gausha, so if and when the belts go vacant, he's in a position to catch it for you. That is what that is. And they'll rob this guy if they can. So he needs to stop Terrell Gausha. You need to stop him because they'll rob you up there and they don't give a shit. That's where Mikhail Fox got robbed by Maestre and the WBA. That's where that happened. It's literally the same venue. It's the same place. So you need to stop this guy, Tim.
His dad is teaching him right though, dude, because he's a throwback like his dad. He's fighting every 4 or 5 months, you know.
Well, he's actually closer to his grandfather, because his dad is really in Russia more, whereas Tim, Costia basically he ended up in Australia, Australian citizen, naturalized, all of that. Tim was really more raised in Australia. Costia has been in Russia for the most part, most of the years, and the guy that Tim has really been around is his granddaddy, but you are right that the influence that the father had on Costia, that's the influence that he's having on his grandson. Tim is a bad motherfucker, man. He's a bad motherfucker. Because
Nikita's on the come up.
I'd have told the PBC to suck my dick. Like, I don't give a shit about your unification match. I want my fight. I don't care about that. You either pay me $2 million or I want my fight. It's that simple. Because I get that money. I get more money than Brian Castano. All right, let's be honest. The kind of money I get, I'm closer to Charlo than Castano is. So give me $2 million or give me my fight.
I'm still waiting to see what Nikita could do, man.
Nikita,
one,
he beat he had his debut. He beat the shit out that guy. Let me read the super chat. AB is in court promoting a fight. Willie Lynch says, I don't know why boxers' fathers keep making excuses for their sons. Maybe I'm just a cynical bastard, but every father I've ever known would make their sons stand on their own feet and tell them to be a man. I mean, I'm not the one whose son might be getting like Teofimo got his ass beat. That must have been hard for Senior to watch his son go down like that and be bleeding, so I got sympathy a little bit, but like also I think his dad is a dickhead because you try to make it about you when it's about him. It's not about you. You ain't fighting nobody. You ain't winning no belts. He winning them belts. You along for the ride, and it's about him. And that, like George's dad, that's a dad, bro. He wasn't trying to steal his sunshine. He ain't trying to be all in the camera. He ain't trying to do all nah. It's about George. It ain't about me. And when you seen him, like what I seen after the fight, he was just a proud father, beaming for his son, and because of his son. That's it. He wasn't like like, bro, chill out, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're doing the Angel Garcia thing. Like, chill out, bro. Like,
Jules, a lot of family takes fights hard, man, when their family lose, man. Like, who's that Puerto Rican dude that got beat up in the first round? They showed his brother crying in the audience.
Josue Vargas, bro. The dude that's about to fight. The dude was in.
His brother was in the audience crying when dude got checked.
Let it go.
You know what? I called a humble pie. I called a humble pie recipients in 2021. Him and Tio. It's a tie.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, Liam says it's his Tim's grandfather's Boris and his uncle Igor. Yeah, the influences that Tim has is them. If Tim is acting a lot like his dad and moving like his dad, it's because of his granddad, which influenced his dad. But that's where it comes from. And Nikita, listen, what I've been told, shout out to Liam, because Liam is one of the people that told me. He said, if you think that Tim is a bad motherfucker, Nikita, his younger brother, is even more talented than him. So you got to watch out for him. And I,
class?
both are junior middle. Both is 154. And this fight, which I don't want to get to, I don't want to do this now because I want to save it for the weekend picks or whatever. But he does have to be careful around Terrell Gausha because the style that Terrell Gausha has is to work off the counter. An aggressive fighter will afford him the opportunities to get off those counters. He does this shit with his hand to measure you and then walk you into the punch. Tim is very aggressive. The good thing about Tim is he throws these weird uppercuts from weird angles. Like he'll just lean off to the side and shoot the upper. He got to be aggressive. He's got to throw. But yeah, you got to be careful with this guy. Like Terrell Gausha is not great. But this style matchup, it favors him a little bit. It favors him a little bit. Like with Lara, he looked like bleh. With Lubin, he looked like bleh because that style matchup didn't favor him. This style matchup where, all right, this is a counterpuncher. That's what this guy is. This guy's a counterpuncher. He don't just wing shots and he don't just throw. He picks his punches, and when he's not picking them, he's waiting for you to give him an opening. That's the type of fighter he is. Tim is very good at being aggressive. You know what I mean? He's very good at getting all up in a motherfucker chest. But with this guy, you got to be careful. Really, go to the body. This motherfucker hasn't fought in a year. Go to the body. He ain't going to like that. Dude hasn't fought since March of last year. You know what I mean? Take the air out of the tires and do it early. Because like I said, these motherfuckers, what I firmly believe is the only reason this fight has been offered to Tim here in America is to give the PBC an opportunity to take his mandatory status from him, to give it to Terrell Gausha so the WBO stays with the PBC. If you know, let's say Charlo knocks out Castaño, right? Bang. Let's say he knocks out Castaño, and I think that's what's going to happen, actually. Or at minimum, I think he's going to win. But let's just say hypothetically, okay, Charlo wins. He's not. I don't think he's going to stay at 54. I think he's going to move up to 60, and the belts will go vacant. And they want to make sure when those belts go vacant, they stay at the PBC because they got a stronghold in that division. Most of the fighters that you would want to fight are their fighters.
Hey, Jules.
Yep.
Liam Roscoe's asking why you missed his super chat and why you're skipping over Paro.
Oh shit! Let me go back up.
Ooh, touchy.
Don't skip over my boy Liam Pato. I'm not skipping over Liam Pato, bro. Not skipping over him. He in there too. He in there. John Doe. Shout out to John Doe in the Tahoe. Aye. You know
His message is actually in the comments. He missed it. And he put about 10 of his same message in there.
Holy shit. You see that? Oh shit. Nikita has that switch kind of guy that just wants to hurt people. And yeah. Like if you see Nikita, like I seen him, he looks like a serial killer. He looks like a cross.
That's what it is. Dude looks crazy, man. He looks like he's just he wants to just hurt somebody.
He looks like a cross between Tom Holland and Dexter. That's what he looks like. He looks just like if Tom Holland and Dexter had like a baby, that would be the baby. And he's a nut, but the kid hits hard. I can see that much, at least at this level, and we'll see how he turns out. But yeah, man, he's got to, you know, and I've been saying it since the fight got announced. That look, I don't know why he agreed to this. Maybe, you know, him and his people didn't realize what they were getting into, but he's got to knock this guy out. Like, he's got to knock this guy out, man. Or make it.
Hey, yo, fellas, by the way, is it just me? Does anybody really love Buatsi versus Richards?
Oh, yeah, I love that fight. Fight. I love Smith versus the winner even more.
Oh, yes. I mean, they need to get Callum out there. I don't know what the hell Eddie's doing with him, man. I mean, they can't leave him sitting on the shelf any longer. I mean, you don't get a knockout like that and not fight for like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is that, you know, Smith, they said they're going to get him back out there in June, though I agree with Jay that, you know, that was that knockout of Castillo. What was that, September of last year?
Yeah. That's when the Joshua Wilson fight was, yeah.
And then you're not getting back out until June? Like, bro, come on. Like, it's been a couple of shows you could have fought on to just knock a motherfucker's block off real fast. You know, just
he could have been put on a couple undercards or some events. So they could have put him on Lee Woods or something, like another matchroom card. I mean, just a simple one. You know?
So that was one of the best. Like, he turned Castillo into a fucking
turned him into a vegetable.
You shit was beautiful,
we should
bro.
Yeah, oh man.
This motherfucker was shaking on the floor, like he literally left him shaking on the floor. Like, she was beautiful. Like, you got to build off of that. But on that note, I'm gonna close this live because I'm getting sleepy. Alexis, always a pleasure. Jay, always a pleasure. Eastside
Right,
Country.
yo, no doubt.
Yeah,
All right,
have a good
gentlemen.
one, Jules.
Always a
Thanks for
pleasure.
having us
Yes, sir.
on, man. Much
Appreciate
appreciated.
you, man.
Fellas,
All
have
right,
a good night.